Hey guys, Poulin here from Party Time DJ Services with my first active speaker review of the year for 2014. So today we'll be having a quick look at Yorkville's new NX300P powered speaker, which features a 15-inch woofer and 1-inch horn with a 1.4-inch voice coil and 300 watts of applied power, 600 watts peak. Yorkville lists it at 122 decibels continuous or 125 decibels peak. And as with most other Yorkville speakers, these are designed and produced in Canada, so that's a very good thing. Thank you, Yorkville, for supporting our economy, and I believe that Yorkville also has offices in the US, so it's nice that they're keeping jobs in the US and Canada. I believe most speakers, except for a few speakers in the YX line, are actually designed and completely produced here in Canada. Even in the YX series, they've just announced the YX12C and YX15C that are now being produced in Canada. So congratulations, Yorkville, for that move and for your support. Also, congratulations on what I would call is a very good speaker for the price with this NX300P. It looks great. It is a little on the big side. I actually brought, I have my DXR15 next to it just to compare, because I believe that's the best way to gauge the size of the speaker. But I was actually kind of surprised at the size of the NX300P. It is a big speaker, but at the same time, when you have a 15-inch woofer in a big box, you'll usually get nice low frequency response. So that is definitely the case with the NX300P. I did actually in the past use the NX600 as well as the NX750P, which is actually a higher powered version of this speaker. The same cabinet and everything, but higher quality transducers and more applied power. This is more like a budget version of the NX750P. So let's have a quick look at the back of the NX300P. Now here we go with the mixer section. There's the line level control with a combination XLR 1/4 inch input. We also have a XLR out or through, bass and treble controls, power limit and clip light, as well as a mic level control with XLR. Now the difference between the line input and the mic level is basically you have a lot more gain in the mic level, since microphones do need more gain. So that's the main difference between the line level and the mic level controls. Other than that, on the back there's not really much to see other than a power switch and the plug-in. So we'll turn this back around and I can tell you of my impressions of the sound of the NX300P. So first off, I'd like to say that I'm very happy to report that the NX300P does get surprisingly loud, even although most people will see 300 watts and say, well, a lot of speakers these days are 1,000 or 1,500 watts. Well, numbers are only tell you part of the story. And one thing one of my dealers told me many years ago when I was a teenager is that, in any full range speaker, the first 200 or 300 watts are basically what's most important. After that, the other extra watts are just headroom. So I was actually pleasantly surprised and impressed at how loud this 300 watt speaker got. Also impressed at the low frequency response. I did compare it to my DXR15 and happy to report that the NX300P actually goes almost as low and is as warm sounding down low as the DXR, so that's one thing. I did compare them with I did take the decontour off of the DXR to run them, naturally with no processing or less processing in there. So the NX300P does get very loud. I was surprised. I actually put it up till I saw the limit lights flicker, and it gets surprisingly loud. Low frequency response, as mentioned, is excellent, and that's likely due to the big cabinet, which always makes a difference. The high frequency and mids, they're okay. I say okay because I found the mids a little forward, especially compared to the DXRs that I'm used to in the RCFs, and I kind of find that they were missing that crisp top end or that sweet top end. I heard more mids than top end, and I did feel the need right away to try to boost some of that top end in there, and it does help a bit. But I think with I think at a certain price point, you're not going to get a top-of-line compression driver. I believe these are Celestion compression drivers, very good quality, but you're not going to get the top-end sparkle that you get from DXRs or RCFs, unfortunately. But for most people, I mean, I've probably been spoiled with my more expensive speakers, and that's understandable. These, I'm using the DXR15s as reference. I'm very used to them. I know how they sound, but there's definitely a difference in top-end clarity and top-end, I call it sweetness or crispness. But other than that, as mentioned, this is still a lower priced speaker, so we're not exactly comparing apples to apples here. But overall, I was really impressed with the NX300P. Great choice for beginning DJs that want, something of better quality than a lot of the entry level that's out there. They want something that's going to last. And Yorkville, if anything, Yorkville's reliability is almost legendary, and their 2-year, even if you break it, warranty is one of the best in the business, and their service has always been excellent. So any beginning DJs that don't want to use subs right away and would rather have a bigger set of speakers up on stands, these are a great choice. I was very impressed by the overall thump, and the low frequency response is really excellent from a speaker at this point. As mentioned, the top end could use definitely use a little EQ, and you will want to sweeten that top end up if you can. But other than that, very solidly built speaker. As mentioned, a little on the big side, about 50 pounds. But if you want a nice full sound, you need and without subs, you need a big enough speaker. So there you go. That was Yorkville's NX300P. A quick look. And next review will likely be for the Yamaha DSR 112s, which I should be doing in the following weeks. And with the conclusion of my video, I'd just like to thank very much Josh over at Prom Music in Sudbury, my favorite music store, as they're always great at letting me try out new speakers. So thank you very much, Josh. Thank you, Brian, as well, at Prom Music in Sudbury. Always a pleasure to do these speaker reviews. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them, and I will answer you promptly and as honestly as possible. Have yourselves a great day. This has been Yorkville's NX300P with Poulin.